Ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Phil. We're going to watch a ZvZ here today on the Korean server featuring a name which I'm sure you will all be very familiar with, and well, I suppose the other one you might be quite well versed in as well. He has been around the scene for quite a while now. Down in the bottom left-hand side, he is one of the representatives. There's the word, I had to get my mouth around that one. The representative from the C region, particularly from Australia here, it is Exile5's PiG. Now he is on his GM account, he's doing a little bit of laddering during the past few weeks. I have actually had PiG featured as my Zerg stream of the month, just due to him being, well, obviously a high quality player. I like to, you know, give some shout outs and try and bring some exposure and attention to high level players who have really good streams. They do some commentary, this kind of stuff. You can find out more about it over on my Facebook page. It's over at facebook.com/duckfield.casting. You can find out more information about that, as well as the Protoss and the Terran streams for the month. But yeah, this month it has been PiG. He's been a little bit quiet when it comes to streaming, obviously being a competitor in WCS NA for a little while. He wanted to sort of keep things under wraps for a little bit, and also just this weekend we had the ACL Pro Sydney event, so just wanted to sort of keep things a little bit quiet. But I do know that he will be streaming again very soon, and I'm sure if you want some high-level Zerg casting, teaching and that kind of thing, definitely jump onto PiG's stream and ask him for some help with that kind of stuff. I'm sure he'd be glad to help out. Meanwhile, his opponent up at the top right hand side, we saw him at IEM New York, and I think despite not finishing up as one of the top contestants in the entire event, he was definitely one of them who brought in some entertainment. It is of course Quantic's Hyun, also known as Spider Hyun, from his appearance in the Spider-Man costume, being Hyun's one of those Korean players, a very sort of rare and just generally very uncommon kind of players who has a really fun personality. And when you get to sort of meet him and you talk to him, and he's just a really fun little character to have his presence felt in the scene. Not only being a great player, of course, he has done really well in many Code S GSLs and those kinds of things, but he's also, as we said, a bit of a character, which is always quite a lot of fun, especially from the general norm of the Korean players, who are just generally very quiet, very very relaxed and sort of laid back, that kind of thing. But Hyun, he's happy to have a little bit of a laugh and that kind of stuff. So it is always good to see him around and about. But we do have a Zerg versus Zerg, as we mentioned. It is a matchup which can be very explosive and very micro intensive, with lots of Zergling and Baneling battles, and then sometimes you'll move up to Roaches and Hydras and Infestors, and the good old Mutalist still makes a little bit of an appearance every now and then. Some players like to get those guys out, but as you can see, Hyun's going to have a quick scout through PiG's main base, and we'll see that we do have quite a bit of gas now coming out. Speed has started up for PiG. His first queen is already out. The second one is also there at the natural as well. Going to try and block off this link from getting too far, and he should be able to, takes that first link out. And we'll see how he's going to respond in kind. As we can see, his Overlord did not really get too much information, just had a quick check of that hatchery timing and got to see that the queen was out and all those kinds of cool things that you like to be able to scout. And now he's going to be able to send his own lings across. He wants to see, alright, how much gas is going on? How many drones are here in the natural base as well? How many, extra lings have you produced? Is there any extra, these kinds of things? This is what you want to keep a little bit of an eye out for when you are in a Zerg versus Zerg. Now, PiG is going to make quite a hefty batch of lings here. We've got 14 lings now just popping out, an Evo chamber going down as well. Baneling Nest will finish up in a moment, so I think that PiG is going to look to put some pressure on his opponent. Just a small group of these lings. We saw him adding in a few more drones just after that as well, just making sure that he has not only some offensive capabilities here, but also can have something just in case Hyun was doing something a little bit sneaky. As we can see, those links did not get inside for PiG, so he was not able to see what was going on. So he's going to have to make a little bit of a dive in here and try and see what he can get done. A few links are going to head up to the top of the ramp. Hyun actually a little bit unprepared for this. 4 of those Banes will finish up, and now 2 of them destroying every single link except for 3. Pig. Wow, it looks as if a couple more Banes are now trying to make their way inside the natural base here. Some of these Lings coming out, and Hyun also losing a few of his Lings. Not the best of micro there from from Hyun for the most part, and also Pig just lost quite a few of those Lings when he probably didn't need to. He certainly would have seen those 4 Banes building at the time, but as we can see back at home, the worker count is now looking pretty good for Hyun at this point, up to 39, but Pig does have quite a lot of Lings now building up. He's wanting to make sure that he is safe yet again. As we mentioned, you got to be careful about the defense as well as the offense here. Also, got to watch out for those Banes, targeting down a couple of the Banes there, but wow, Hyun just absolutely annihilating most of Pig's forces there, but some Banes will come out for Pig and should be able to hold the line here, as we do see some of the explosiveness of this particular matchup with both of these guys sticking with their basic sort of hive tech with the Speedlings and the Banes now out for both players. But Pig is going to take his 3rd base. He's keeping an eye on what Hyun is doing here as well with a Ling and an Overlord, just trying to see when is my opponent going to take his 3rd base. You know, is he going to stick with something too basey, something very risky, or is he going to go all in or something to that kind of effect? We'll have to see, but Pig has now made his way inside the natural base, getting a few kills here, very nicely done. A Baneling comes out to defend the line, but one of these Lings did make it inside for Pig, so this is really good. He has not really had the best of scouting up until this point, so he does get inside, gets to see that the lair is all done, and, you know, all the kinds of various counts that you can have a look at, like the drone count in here. You can see it's all nice and maxed out in this base, but what he didn't get to see was that Spire, so Hyun is going to move up to the Spire tech right now. He does have his 3rd base on the way. Pig can of course see that, but we'll have to see how these guys are going to change around in their styles. Now, the thing is, Pig is going to have his 3rd base quite a lot quicker than Hyun is going to have his finished up. So this is going to give Pig a little bit of a bonus when it comes to his economy at this point. So he needs to take advantage of that. Now, one way that you can try and do that is to try and counterattack, take out your opponent's 3rd base, or you can try and, you know, perhaps utilize some more, like a little bit more of a tech-based attack, but it looks as if Pig is just going to go with his Link straight in here, forcing a cancel, no doubt about that. There is no way that Hyun is going to be able to deal with this, but what he has done has scheduled an attack of his own on his opponent's 3rd base. Banelings now are going to roll through it. Looks as if some of them will actually finish up and detonating inside the Lings of Pig, trying to come through to help out with the defense, but it looks as if Pig has already gotten his own work done. Trying to get up the ramp there, some Lings and some Banes are going to come in here for Pig. Is going to get inside the main base, should be able to target down the Queens and perhaps some of these drones that are here as well. Pig also taking quite a lot of fire here at his 3rd base. The hatchery is complete. There is an inject that's about to pop out on that hatchery, so that is really going to help out. And Pig, looking to try and get some more harassment here, is going to take out a couple of the drones, but not really too many. And it looks as if with a little bit of a fight inside the mineral line, Pig should be able to get enough done there, but if he can keep this 3rd base alive, that is going to be key here for Pig. If he can just hold it together, the Lings slowly chomping down on his opponent. Hyun, will he be able to take out the hatchery? No, is the answer. 233 health left over. One thing that Pig has here, we did see that earlier Evo chamber for the Exile5 Zerg. He's now got +1 on his carapace. This means that his Lings actually survive a single Baneling shot. They actually have to take 2 before they die. Also means they're a little bit more efficient in some of these Zergling versus Zergling engagements. And Pig madly scrambling to get some Banelings out, but not in time. Hyun taking out the 3rd hatchery. So we are now back to even bases at this point, and Pig is going to have to think about what he's going to do here, because his opponent now has mutas about to pop out. In fact, there are already some mutas, I should say. There are 4 mutas out on the map. In fact, 5 and a few more about to finish up now as well. So this is going to give Hyun quite a nice advantage here on the map. He's going to be able to roam about, take out some of those overlords that Pig may not have been able to set aside and keep alive for the time being. But one thing he can't do is defend these heavy Ling attacks. It's surprising, but mutas are just so you know, they're just so slow at taking out Lings. Of course, you've got multiple targets. Mutas do not do that bonus damage or anything like that, so they have to slowly but surely take out some of the Lings. This Pig has been just roaming about, getting a lot of damage done, taking out a couple of workers here, there, and everywhere, and he is forced to spine inside the main base. He's also, one of the key things which you have to take out of this as a Zerg player, is that he has forced the Mutas to stay on this side of the map. He's just given Pig time to get up a couple of spores, as we can see here at his 3rd base. We'll probably have 1 inside the natural, there it is, and also 1 at the main, or 2 at the main, I should say. In fact, 3, a 3rd one being built up in the main, so Pig wants to make sure that that is all protected. But as we can see, Hyun is going to be moving forwards. The Bane comes across in defense of Spore Crawler. This Spore is, wow, that's really gotten its money's worth there. The drones will now come across and try and, well, they were looking to set up some spores, but unfortunately is not going to happen. The Mutas are getting free reign over this position here. Hyun is he needs to get as much damage done as he can here, because he knows as soon as this hatchery is done, these spores are going to be fine to defend this base, and with the spine there as well, that is going to give PiG a very nice position when it comes to his economy, but he needs to get there first without losing too many more of these drones. The worker kill tally now up to 9 for Hyun, so he has been making it work for him at the moment. His own third hatchery now on the way, just over halfway done, and just this dancing just back and forth between here, this is really limiting the space that PiG has to move back and forth between these two bases. He's going to have a hard time even getting some units across to defend this spine crawler. We can see these links now going to town on that spine, but roaches are now out for PiG. He's made a little bit of a transition. We're also going to move into infestors. There will be some more links now popping out as well. Spore crawler slowly starting to die down, but the spores are now ready to rumble with those roaches, with those mutas, and now Hyun is forced to go inside the natural base, but double spores are here. They're going to be fine. Transfuses from PiG keeps 2 of those alive, and they're going to do massive amounts of damage against those mutas. Hyun losing mutas left, right, and center. He needs to be extremely careful in this. Look at this stuff from PiG, just setting up nice defensive positions while sending some links across the map, and that is just wonderful play from PiG, able again to restrict his opponent from taking a third base. And you cannot underestimate how powerful this is, because now Hyun is forced into a position he's got to set up this macro hatchery at his natural base. And I mean, this is a point where you have to make a decision. Do I do some kind of crazy all-in and try and finish up this game right now, or do I try and take the third again? Because if I try and take the third and I lose it yet again, I'm going to be further and further behind. My opponent has now got his own third base up and running. It is protected by some spores. We've got some roaches and infestors now out as well for PiG, and he has put himself in a very, very commanding position right here, despite what we can see on the supply tab. So we'll see if Hyun is able to get something done here. It looks like we've got 6 more mutas on the way, +1 to weapons, also researching for those guys, and 12 more lings are now coming out. It is going to be a massive ling attack now coming across. Perhaps Hyun sensing that there are no more Banes, therefore these lings might be able to get some more damage done than they normally would have, but the mutas will now move through, looking to try and secure a position here. He is able to take out one of the creep tumors, but there are spores and a heck of a lot of infestors here. That is going to be very, very deadly for Hyun to push into. But what he has done, he's found a little bit of a sweet spot off to the side. The mutas are going to take out some of these overlords while they are just freely floating about. But Hyun has he's certainly got a clock ticking at this point, because unless he gets something done with these Banes and with these links, then he is certainly going to start to fall further and further behind, because PiG, now with a wonderful fungal growth on top of the mutas, is going to constantly lock them down next to a spore, next to a queen. That is going to be the end of Hyun's mutas right there, and he decides, alright, it better be time to go, rolling forwards with the Banes and the links. All of those mutas now gone. The Banes have now rolled inside the natural base and getting a huge amount of drone kills now. But the thing is, Hyun is still so far behind, loses the mutas. GG from Quantic Hyun up against Exile5 PiG. Hope you enjoyed that match. I'll catch you all next time. Here, as you can see, 47 damage to bio units, and then the 34 damage against other standard targets. His storms have also been wonderful, just spreading them out across the battlefield, doing really, really nicely there. And for minigun, he's been sticking with a much more